Now boarding solo flight with Nicole Anderson. Okay, guys, so it is time for revenge. We finally have Belle Daza on the podcast. Welcome, Belle.
What's up? I'm here.
I know, finally. Okay, guys, first of all, out of everyone, and I told this to Bea and Eric last week and Liz, I was like, guys, it's so hard to book guests. Like, sabi nila, what? Like, how? And I said, Belle and I have rescheduled 3 times, and they all said, no, that's just Belle. It's not them. It's you.
No, it's hard.
It is.
It's hard because people's schedules change.
Yeah. But also, to be fair, you have so much on your plate. You're actually one of my friends who I think has the most on their plate. And you have 3 kids.
Yeah,
and
that's what's on my plate.
No, but you also are juggling like a life in Hong Kong and Manila. And then, your work is in Manila mostly, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then, what else? Like, you have like 10 businesses, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. Well, first of all, a lot of people know you for the Sexy Time podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
So, you have that podcast, and Ava's episode already came out by the time this comes out.
Okay.
So that was fun, and Ava grilled me a lot. Just basically, it was an extension of our episode on your show.
Okay.
Pretty much. And
which did really well, by the way. Nicole's episode on the Sexy Time podcast was like #1.
Wow.
With us.
Thank you so. Well, that's.
Ang daming laglagan.
I know. So feel free to make me laglag.
Pero
I'm gonna bleep.
Bleeped it.
I know. I'm gonna bleep any laglag you say now.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't know, and maybe I'm not smart for doing this, but I go to you for financial advice. I don't know if this is the best. Don't.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think, yeah, you do. And you listen naman. But you also have a lot of, you observe everybody else.
I do, yeah.
And you see who you resonate with, I guess.
Yeah. No, and I asked, Ava actually mentioned in the last episode, or the episode that she guested on, she said, you are my friend who asks the most random questions. And I think I am. But I'm also very random naman.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it makes sense that I have a podcast, because I have a lot of things.
You're just random thoughts.
Yeah, I have a lot of random thoughts. But one thing I want to talk to you about is money. And it's actually funny because in Ava's wedding, you made a speech and she said, ate, not everything is about fame and money. And then you made hiret. What was your line?
I think it was like, I learned from my sister at 25 that not everything was about fame and money and what people thought of you, but it was about relationships that you nurture and, spending time with the people that you love. And then my joke, basically my punchline was like, and that was really a tough pill to swallow because I like money.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And everybody laughed because they all were like, us too.
Yeah, no, but also everyone knew
Knew
that
me.
it was so true to you. Which is true.
Yeah.
But okay, first of all, before we get into that, did you always know that you like money, like as a kid? Like, were you always...
I think so. When I was a kid, I used to go trick-or-treating, and then the day after trick-or-treating, I'd try to like sell all my candies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried to be entrepreneurial. I don't know.
Would people buy?
Yeah. Syempre, kawawa naman ako. Like, I'm like a 6-year-old kid selling candy. Like, yeah.
Okay, wait. And I remember you would also ask people, in the speech, you mentioned something about, like, you would ask people for 5 pesos. What's that?
Yes.
What
I
was
would
that?
go around school. Basically, my mom didn't give us allowance growing up. We always had packed lunches.
Okay.
And when you're so used to your packed lunch, even how great it is, but when you have it all the time, it's
get
like
sawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have these like crazy crab stick sandwiches that my mom and my yaya would make with ciabatta bread. She'd buy like the bread from Bizu.
They're good.
Then she'd make
Baon
crab
naman.
stick and then Japanese mayo, and like it was like such a treat for all my friends. But for me, I'm like another crab stick sandwich.
Yeah.
So I'd sell it for like 50 pesos. Or if I'd have like cold soma noodles, I'd also sell that.
Wait, you would sell your baon?
Yeah, and then but when I wouldn't be able to sell it, I would go around asking people for change, pretending that I needed it.
Bakit ka naglilimos?
Yeah, limos is the
Sa
word.
assumption.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, I just have to Xerox some. You have 2 pesos, I need to Xerox. Because before, photocopying was 1 peso, right?
Okay.
So I'd ask like 30 people, and then at the end, I'd have like 40 pesos.
What do you buy with that?
So growing up, we weren't allowed to have any junk food or
Okay.
any sodas or anything. So it was only in school where I could have pizza
Okay.
and like Jamaican patty or whatever.
Okay.
So that's the only time I'd like sneak in and buy junk food, when I was able to collect 35 pesos from random strangers.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were always wise, or not wise,
Yes,
but
wise is the word.
actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like street smart,
Yeah.
scrappy.
Scrappy
Yeah.
with your money. Actually, you still are to this day.
Trying to be.
So speaking of money and like your love for it or being wise,
My love for it. Grabe ka na, parang I
Wait.
worship it.
boy, don't lie, you do.
I love money, but I also think that money is circular, so you need to spend money in order to,
You
make
tell me
some.
that all the time.
because sometimes we're
Because me,
so
I
attached
save.
to it. Yeah.
I save.
I know you save it every time you go on a trip, you come home with a new bag. At least me, I don't buy bags. And Nicole's like,
Wait,
I
she
just
always
got this
makes me
like
sad.
Chanel, whatever. And like, I got this Celine bag. It's like cost an arm and a leg. I'm like, huh?
So Belle would always give me crap about. She's like, tipid ka ng tipid, and then paglingon ko may Gucci ka na. Or-
Yeah. And not only that, Nicole flies business. So at least I don't fly business. That's how much I love money.
Well, okay. It's no, you know why? I think we choose to spend on different things because you love to spend on food.
Yeah.
You spend a lot on food.
That's
I don't.
like sustenance.
no,
That's like how we live.
no, no. Because for me, like I'm okay to eat an egg sandwich every day. Like I'm okay to eat 7-Eleven Japan's egg sandwich every day in Japan,
Yeah.
and then just buy Gucci shoes or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not smart. I'm not saying it's smart.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it brings me more joy.
Yeah.
You kasi, you will like rave about an ice cream we had for 3 days after we've had it.
Yeah.
Me, I've moved on.
No, yeah. No, or we value different things. Like, I love a good experience in
Yeah.
like wellness or something.
Business class is an experience.
That's a wellness experience.
It's a wellness experience. Hindi ako well when I
Hindi ako well when I'm in economy. Grabe ka.
Joke lang yun.
Oh my God, we're gonna get canceled
I
for
know,
that.
joke lang yun, guys.
No.
Ikaw naman, 3 beses lang ako nag-business class.
No, my joke always to my husband is I don't know why I spend so much on Pilates and then one in economy my neck is hurting. But no,
Yeah.
the truth is, sabay-sabay naman tayo dadating dun sa place na yun.
Ang alin? Ano
No,
place?
sorry. hindi nag-cinch yung whether you're taking, for me kasi, obviously I would love to spend on
We're all getting to the
getting
same
to the same
destination.
station. Obviously, I'd love to do that, but right now, I'm like 36. I'm still super young. I'm robust. I also travel with quite a few people, so I don't mind spending that time on the airplane in economy.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like it's so indulgent to be traveling in business. For me.
Yeah. No, I feel that way too.
Yeah.
Ikaw naman, 3 beses lang naman. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Because I also can't afford it.
Yeah. But I remember one time we got upgraded and Balti parang got sanay to it because during COVID we were traveling and so we would always kind of get upgraded just
Yeah.
because the seats were empty and the pursers were so nice. And then bigla na lang when we were flying again and we were economy, which is normal for us. Balti would come in the plane and he'd sit in a business class seat. I'm like, get out. These aren't our seats.
He just assumes.
Yeah, and then when he's
This is
there,
my
he's like, how come the chair doesn't go down?
Yeah.
But again, like, I don't want him to grow up thinking that's just like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really is expensive.
Yeah.
And let's clarify, I don't do it all the time.
She does, okay? She comes home with 2 luggage filled with shit she buys.
No.
And it's fine. She just says it because I have work, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, but it's also true because I have work.
It's okay because you value that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, ayoko na nga, hindi na ako magja-justify.
It's okay. Walang judging. This is a safe space.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to do that too.
Well, okay.
In the
Also,
future.
I don't have kids naman
Yeah.
to spoil.
Yeah.
So, I spoil myself. And everyone sees that you guys see how hard I work. So, I'm
True.
like, if I've been like talking on the mic, for sometimes I have events where I'm hosting 8 hours. And
Yeah.
then I need to catch a flight that same night. Parang magkakasakit na ako if I
Yeah.
don't. Alam mo yung ganun?
Yeah, no, I super get it.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, I love it.
Anyway, so, na-guilty ako. But let's talk about this
Binagilty
subject.
kita, no, don't.
And
Indulge now kasi pag may anak ka na, ayan na.
actually, that's also true. Everyone says, lubusin mo na now because the moment you have kids,
Yeah.
you can't spend like that na.
I mean, I think you'll think twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sana, let's manifest. Sana I'm in a place where I don't have to. Guys,
Okay.
let's support
Abundance.
the podcast.
Abundance.
Sama-sama tayo here. Let's
Oo,
all
totoo.
grow together. But okay, you were the one who introduced me to this concept of loud budgeting.
Okay.
What does that even mean?
So I guess a lot of people in 2022, 2023 were really into quiet luxury, and I love quiet luxury because of Succession and just like being with the trend. I never really loved big logos or, you know, just being so loud.
Yeah.
That's not my style also.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, I never wear anything that's just like screaming.
That's true, yeah.
And because I grew up like that, and also I find it just like more tasteful when when people go out of their way to ask you what they're wearing because they don't know what it is, and it's like a really special brand that features X,
You
Y, and Z.
like kasi, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ganon.
But that's your flex eh. That's your subtle flex.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you like it when you're like, if someone's like, oh, is that? You're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's a flex, but I definitely just appreciate, because I'm not super into fashion and whatever, but I like smaller brands that specialize in certain things.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this?
What is loud
loud
budgeting?
budgeting. Okay, so now we go to loud budgeting. 2024, inflation's up. Everybody's kind of struggling. Also, the landscape has changed.
Yes.
Even for our industry, like I was just talking to somebody about it, about being in the Philippines in show business. It's not quite the same. Like,
How so?
I think now ABS-CBN isn't what it used to be. That's
Okay.
number one. Number two, there's so many more avenues where people earn.
Yes.
So it's not really TV isn't the main, I guess,
The
source
main
of income.
form of media. Yeah.
Main form of media, exactly. And then also, before kasi artistas and celebrities, we had like an upper hand.
We're
so to
revered.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's the landscape has changed, and the gate parang has been open, which is great because there's
Yeah.
more selection. Brands are kind of choosing from different kinds of content creators and
Yeah.
also like artists, and it kind of levels the playing field. But at the same time, especially for someone who isn't necessarily based here, it's not as easy to get work, so to speak.
Got it.
Okay, so with that, what I'm saying is loud budgeting for me is in because of the situation I'm in, plus having 3 kids, plus living in Hong Kong. It's not anymore as easy to say, yeah, let's go, to a 5-star hotel and have a Michelin dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna tell my friend, that is too expensive. This is my budget.
Yeah.
Loud budgeting is basically being open and telling people what you are able to afford and what you're not without any shame. That's
Okay.
my understanding from it. And it's like, whereas before where you'd be like, yeah, sige, game, and then one dinner you'd be broke. Alam mo yun?
Yeah, or like nahiya ka so bigay mo na lang yung credit card mo.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, why do I have to pay for that when siya lang naman nag-inom ng cocktails or drinking?
Yeah.
Parang loud budgeting is like,
Just be vocal.
be cool, being true to what you can and can't afford,
Mhm.
right? And it goes hand in hand with don't go broke trying to look rich, because we all know that's not the place you want to be in.
That's true. I love having you as a friend in terms of how you treat me when it comes to spending.
Yeah, or just life.
Actually, just life and dating, but but I'm afraid to enter that topic.
Yeah, we'll enter it in a bit.
Okay. But you give me a lot of great advice financially in the sense that, guys, kasi obviously I grew up as an only child, and
Yes.
Belle and I only realized recently that we knew each other since we were like 2 years old.
It's crazy.
But
Yeah,
we
we-
actually became friends in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a video basically of Nicole in my house as a kid posing with her stroller. As in her mom's like, Nicole, pose. And she's like there, like posing. We're like, oh my God, Nicole still poses like that.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Like your eyebrows were so thick as a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah. So we go
And
way
so,
back.
as an only child, I never had an ate or a kuya.
Yeah.
And so, whenever I didn't know how things worked, or like when it came to dating or life or even struggles with my parents, I would always look to my friends, and all of you guys are older than me.
Yeah.
So I was the bunso of the group.
Yeah.
So you really.
Dapat we should have had Mond here.
And no, I know, I'm afraid. Actually, I was with him yesterday, and
Yeah.
he goes, Nicole, humanda ka pag nag-guest ka. Lalaglagin ko lahat ng stories mo.
Yeah.
We actually should. But
Yeah.
we'll do another one with like
That
Mond
was
and
so
Ava.
fun.
That'd be... But super magulo yun.
Yeah.
Everyone would be talking over each
We'd
other.
we used to party, and then we'd all ride home with Mond, and then we'd pass by McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Mond would just like get his regular
Shout,
chicken
Chicken nugget!
Or sometimes if we're staying late, his driver would come, my chicken nuggets na on the side of his car.
Oh my
my
God.
God.
Those were the days. Pag sundo
That's an
sa...
extra barbecue sauce.
Ready
Anyways,
na. Pag,
yeah.
pagbukas ng kotse, nandun na yung nuggets. Naka-ready na.
3 a.m. I don't know why tawag tayo.
Anyway, so you always give me financial
Yes.
advice. And that's why Belle always tells me, which is why I saw her story today or yesterday, na it says, don't go broke trying to look rich, which is so true. And I
Yeah.
think it's a great reminder for all our listeners.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, it's so easy for everyone to compare online. Oh my God, everyone's buying these shoes. Everyone's drinking this coffee.
Yeah.
Everything, right? And you
Yeah.
feel like you need to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I like that I have friends like you who remind me it's not about that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, or the way I think of it is, aanhin mo yung Gucci na sapatos kung may tulo yung bubong mo.
Yes.
Or
Totoo.
kung wala kang kuryente.
Yes, exactly. Or
Right?
if you're in debt.
Okay, actually, I want to talk about debt because I'm very afraid of it, but you're comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are you comfortable with
debt?
With debt? Because
Okay,
it's
so-
scary to me.
Okay, let's go back to... This is a lot. First of all, I just want to say to the listeners, Nicole is a really good listener. And that, I think, is a key quality of somebody who is, I don't know, like street smart and also willing to improve themselves. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking, what am I going to get out of it? Nicole is a really good listener, and she's able to adapt and flex based on what she learns from different people to her life. So,
That's
side
so
note
true.
lang yan.
Okay.
Okay. So why am I not afraid of debt? When I was younger, well, first of all, my mom is super afraid of debt.
Because she hates it.
She hates
goes,
debt.
Naku, papangit ka. But
Yeah, or like,
I learned that.
or like
She's
if you tell her, wow, you look fresh, like, why do you look so good? She's like, walang utang.
Yeah,
You know?
always. She goes, Nako, Nicole, if you have utang, you'll get old.
Yeah.
You'll get wrinkles.
Which I understand her thinking, because it's something that is looming in your head. When you borrow money from somebody and you have utang and you haven't paid it, it's like you can't sleep at night. You're like, shit, I still owe
No,
this person
no.
4,000.
We have friends who ilang years na nakalimutan na, bakit ang himbing na tulog mo?
No, but
Bayaran mo yung utang mo
at
sa
least
akin.
for me, if I owe someone, parang
You
I'm
know who
like,
I'm talking about?
yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. I'm always thinking about that, right? Okay, so debt for economic growth is different. I believe in debt for economic growth. But syempre, you also have to do your research and you have to understand your own finances, right? So like, for example, buying a property, it's so rare for people to have just a wad of cash
Yeah.
and putting it in
Yeah, just to
You know,
have
to
10
drop-
to 30, 40 million sitting
nothing,
in the bank.
even just 10 million to put that already, boom, just
Yeah,
it's a lot,
yeah.
right? And so banks usually are willing to lend you, but obviously their interest rate is so high.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to basically check your finances, check how much income you have, expenses, and see if you can afford this 6 to 7% interest rate. I'm getting there.
Okay.
So why am I not afraid of debt? Is because debt allows me to buy or grow economically things that I wouldn't be able to do. Like I said, nobody
the
has that
spot.
cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So I'm willing to take on debt every month and pay it off every month, because rather than buying stupid shit and, you know, trends and fads that in 3 years I'm going to throw out, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to use this to pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
Rent, it's so expensive, and my heart really hurts when we have to pay rent every month. But I understand them, and that not everybody can buy a house and need to pay rent. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And I think if you're paying rent, you definitely need to be saving for something in the future. So there. So when I was, I think, 20, I bought my first flat.
But wait, can I just say, when you got your first apartment, we were still in our partying days.
Yeah.
And I was still, I think I was I was still in high school, like just about to enter college.
Yeah.
And I remember, girl, my biggest concern was what shop top
Yeah.
do I buy? That was
Yeah.
my biggest worry.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
should I eat out and go drinking, or just skip the dinner and go drinking, because that's the only thing I could afford at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
And then here I hear Belle already bought a condo, and I was like, where did that money come from? Like, how did you afford that? And then you told me that yun nga, you were able to, well, one, you were able to save
Yeah.
from your campaigns,
Yeah.
but also you weren't worried about taking out a loan.
Yeah, so what happened was I started working when I was quite young, I think 18. I did my first ad with Ben Chan.
Yeah.
So that's why I named my apartment after him. And then my mom was really, really adamant that I don't spend that money.
Mhm.
And so I would do a few commercials left and right, like I did Century Tuna and things like that. But I didn't change my lifestyle. I didn't change the way I spent money. So I
Yeah.
would take maybe 80% or 90% of my earnings and just put it aside. And I remember that was when the iPod video came in, and I was like, Mom, please, I just want to buy this iPod video. And she's like, it's too expensive. Like, you're not going to spend on this one thing that's... And I finally made a deal with her. I said, okay, look, if I do 1 or 2 or 3 commercials, then can I buy it? She's like, that's the only thing you can buy this year. So my mom played a huge role in teaching me the value of money. You know, when you do commercials, I did a commercial for Rockwell
Oh, okay.
when I was like 16 or 17. And I remember working till 3, 4 a.m. and my body was aching, and parang they still wanted to do more takes.
Yeah.
And I went home and I was like, I don't know how the hell you do this, Mom, but I cannot.
Yeah.
Parang, ikaw you're the only talent, and then another take of
Yeah.
that? Huh? I just did it. I just went up and down the stairs. So I really understood the value of money, I guess, from a young age. And then, yeah, I was able to buy it, my first flat, I guess, when I was in my 20s. And I did borrow a little bit of money for that, but I was able to pay it back.
Yeah. And that's something I only started getting comfortable with this year, when I started talking to you about, I'm not ready to talk about it yet, but like things that I want to invest in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
And you really helped me get more comfortable with potentially taking out a loan in the future
Yeah.
when that time comes.
Yeah.
And I'm not on here telling everyone that you should, take a loan. That's not what I want you guys to get from this. But I think what I'm trying to say is that it's important for you guys to have conversations with your friends who, one, have either gone through it, and who will be honest with you about what that experience is like. Because I know if I ask Belle, I'm like, Belle, like, what's the stressors that come with it? Like, how do you prepare? La la la. She will tell me, oh my god, it's so scary, it's so stressful. And even when I ask you and Anne, they're like, yeah, do it, but because, girl, it will really light a fire under your butt to
Yeah.
work more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because now you can.
Anne doesn't
be
take
chill.
loans, though. She pays cash.
No, okay, but I'm not at that level. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but Anne works so hard, and she's
and
just able to
she's
save a
only
lot. Yeah.
able to do that now because she's been working for 30 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've barely been alive for 30 years. So give me a second to catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, it's that I have friends who are able to tell me, girl, it's so scary, but like, I did this, and read this article, talk to this person to learn more about it.
I will say this, like, if you're in your early 30s, late 20s, and you're living in the Philippines, and you're like, oh, how do I save more money? How do I earn more in my money? I have a little bit of cash, but it's not enough to buy me X, Y, and Z. Recently, I had a conversation with my sister's friends, and they were telling me about the stock market here in the Philippines. So they themselves just do their own research, and
Okay.
parang one of her friends bought stocks of Mart at 1 million pesos, and then
What?
it went up to 10 million.
Wait, she also just had 1M to just drop
Bought
like that?
and stocks, yeah, but
Okay.
parang I guess it was a risk and stuff. But dude, 10 million after, right? Okay, so that's one thing. I was like, oh wow, I should look into that. And then I was recently doing studies on banks and time deposits and things like that.
Okay.
So do you know this? If you keep your money in the bank in a savings account, the interest is 0.00025.
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, it's so low. It's like they're taking money from you almost.
No, you're losing money because
Yeah.
with inflation,
Yeah.
the value of that money is no longer the same the next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to do research and talk to all these different banks like Union Bank, PNB, Security Bank.
Just all the
um,
banks.
Yeah.
We're not endorsing banks here.
Yeah, we're
Just
not.
ask all the banks.
But there is this certain bank here
Yeah.
that is everywhere that just has the worst rates, and you need to be on top of that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's your money.
Yeah. And you worked hard for that money.
Yeah.
And I think that's why for me, and I've actually mentioned this, that you guys, it's so easy for you. You guys have less of an attachment to material things because you guys are so used to borrowing from each other and getting hand-me-downs and like sharing everything. But everything I have, I've had to put hours of my life into to get.
Grabe ka, you
Like-
get so many free things. Huwag ka
No.
maniwala dyan.
Okay, no. Correct. You're right. You see, also have friends to call you out.
She's
No,
like,
it's true.
I've
I do
worked
get a
so
lot.
hard. Thank you so much.
Thank you for this. No, it's true. But the big things, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things I actually that are important in my life, like I worked so hard for, and
Yeah.
it's not just talking on. It's puyat. It's like traveling far with no sleep and doing jobs even if you're sick and you're coughing, like
Yeah.
all those things, right? So for me, it means more, and I think also because I went broke in college, right? Because
Yeah.
I ran away from home, so my mom cut me off,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I had
yeah.
no money. So the value of the peso or the dollar or just money in general is it hurts more when I have to spend so much on something.
Yeah. Wait, what? You're really good at making tipid, ha? I just want to say that. But
Yeah.
what happened to the money you earned when you were a bit younger and you were working in showbiz?
So I bought a car for taping back then because my mom and I only shared a car when I was going to school. But then when I started taping, I needed my own car to go to taping location because sometimes our taping was like Batangas.
Yeah.
Right? And my mom would also have work. So I got my own car.
Okay.
I got an Innova
Yeah, a
in
Toyota.
high school.
Okay.
And I felt like I was the shiz back
Yeah.
then because I was like, oh, I just got my own car.
Yeah.
So I was just paying that off. So most of the money
Yeah.
went there. And then obviously, I had to take out a loan to finish college in the US, which is known notoriously for having really expensive loans and tuition.
Yeah.
So a lot of the money also went there.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
sold your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the math on that. Okay, so speaking of where our money goes, you asked me before.
What do you spend the most on? Aside from
We travel.
travel.
Yeah, most of my money goes to that.
Okay.
But like you said,
to meet
nga-
guys.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. Oh my gosh, pleading the fifth last month got me into so much trouble with that date that I went on, remember? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, yeah.
But I'll get into that on another episode. But most of my money goes to travel because like you said, like you value experiences and so do I, but for me, I want to see the world.
Okay.
Because that's always been my dream as a little girl. Like even as a little girl, I wanted to be an FA
yeah.
or a pilot. Like I just wanted to see the world.
Yeah.
So most of my money goes to travel talaga. And actually, I was talking to a bank executive last month, and he mentioned that statistically most millennials actually are spending most on travel
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So I just found that interesting, and yeah, so that's why I think
Aligns with
it aligns with me and my vision and how I'm spending my money. But I don't travel to see boys. Let's clarify that. I travel, and if there's a boy there, then great. If there's not,
I
I'm still-
travel to check Tinder and Raya and Hinge and Bumble
Ay,
in
ganun!
Milan. And
Ah,
then
ulaglagan!
if there's any match there, then I stay.
Sige na nga, yes!
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, question. When you travel, do you go on the apps? Which app do you go on?
I do, not always. I did recently, but also because you guys were pressuring me.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, can you just make one? Can you just make one? So I did. And then nung una, ayoko. Nung una, I'm like, this is so annoying. Pero pag nagbukas na, you're like, ayaw sa'yo pala.
Yeah.
Kasi ang daming cute.
Yeah.
I don't choose. Like, I'll just make one standard profile on all the apps.
And
I
then
just cast a wide net.
Yeah.
And then just see what
You should come
I
to
see.
Hong Kong, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yun na lang set me up. Ayoko,
I will.
nakakapagod, honestly. And
It is,
I don't
it's-
like doing it
Yeah.
because I don't have the time. Like, for like 30 people to ask like, what's your favorite hobby or what do you like to eat? I'm like, I'm tired.
You know what? There was a article on like single women like saying how difficult it is to find good men right now. I think I saw it on Instagram Reels.
Really?
And she was crying, talking about it. Anyways,
I understand it is hard, but it is, but it isn't.
you know what your song is? I'm
I'm-
looking for a guy in finance. 6'5", blue eyes, trust fund.
Trust fund.
Yeah, that's your song.
Okay, so if that's you, hit me
Let's-
up.
Let's play it right now.
Are we allowed to? I
Yeah.
don't know. We're allowed with the rights.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're allowed to, we'll play it right now. But
Yeah.
if not, you know what song we're talking about.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm looking for. It sounds nice,
Yeah.
but even Ava texted me last week.
Oh.
She goes, "Oh my god, I met this guy," and then she creepily took a photo of him. She took a photo. My friends talaga, they're always looking out for me, but also I'm afraid because their suggestions are questionable. Jess in particular, but Ava sent me a sneaky photo of this guy she saw at an event. She's like, "Oh my god, I think you should meet him, ganyan." And my number one reply was, "Girl, figure out the ugali muna." I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to waste my time. Dinner is 2 hours. That's 2 hours I could be editing this podcast.
Yeah.
Or I could have hosted an event in 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
That's money. Time is money now.
Time
At this-
is money.
At this point.
So, paano? You want him to pay you for your time? Oh, date na tayo.
Date tayo. This is my rate. This is my hosting rate. You can afford it.
This is
Let's
my
go.
getting to know me rate.
Wait, you know why? Can I just say, it doesn't sound bad, because
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but here's why. Here's why. I have gone on dates where it felt like I was still hosting. Like,
No, but
parang
wait.
ako nagtatrabaho.
When you go on dates, do you expect the guy to treat for dinner?
No. But eto na. At this point, this one date I went on, para ako nag-host. In-interview ko siya ng 2 hours. Wala siyang tinanong sa akin. Like,
Do you ever cut it short?
yeah, all the time.
You're just like, no dessert, bill na po, bus out.
Yeah, or I say, "Oh, sorry, I have an early work day tomorrow. Done. Bye. Out."
Yeah.
Because I'm like, ano to? Nag-host lang ako, tapos nagbayad pa ako. Nalugi na ako.
Or pag
I paid
ganon,
na half.
pag ganon, you should let them pay for it. Because you're like, oh my God, ayoko na. Diba? What's the dating etiquette? If you're going on a date for the first time, do you let the guy pay?
I don't think there's a standard rule. I think it differs. You kind of have to feel it out for the person, because there are some people who really are adamant about 50-50. And then some people believe that if you're the woman, you should never pay, right?
Okay.
I kind of like, I'm good either way, but in my mind, if I'm gonna pay to have dinner with you, at least let the dinner be fun.
Yeah.
Like, make it enjoyable, an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
enjoyable experience for me.
Yeah, like,
because
okay,
otherwise,
we're not gonna hook up, but we can be friends or something like that.
yeah, like, and that's totally fine. But like, don't make me work for this conversation. And
Do you feel a connection right away, or do you feel like sometimes it builds?
sometimes it builds.
Yeah, sometimes it builds. Like,
Yeah.
when I met Adrian, I didn't feel a connection right away.
I remember.
Yeah, I was like,
We still had to force you. I'm like, bulag ka ba? He's so hot. Pakipot ka pa. At first, she was just like, kasi Belle's type before was she likes Pinoy.
Yeah, no, and I like naman foreigner, but he was so foreign. Like, his accent was so thick. Yeah, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't feel like it builds, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes siguro there are people na may chemistry ka
There are
agad.
immediate. There are
Ay.
also immediate. Oh! There are the
There
ones
are
where
immediate.
immediate, like, strong connections.
Yeah.
And then there are some where it's like a slow burn.
Okay.
Yeah. Where were we going with this?
Wala lang, we're just dabbling. babbling.
So, no, I don't have that expectation, but I can see the merit to both. Like, I understand both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
I don't care either way. But for me lang, if I'm gonna go on a date with you, I wanna at least have fun.
Ako, if I'm gonna go on a date with you, I want...
Wait, no one's asking you. You're married with 3 kids.
No, but if I weren't, I would love to learn something new. And, yeah, I want a conversation that's really juicy and engaged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of which, I texted Mon the screenshot of this guy who texted me last night.
What?
And then he goes, "Hello."
And then?
And then
Who is it? Who? Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What do you think about
Googling
him?
him right now.
Wait, okay.
Okay, go.
So anyway, I sent Mon. I'm like, Mon, what do I do with this? And then Mon goes, oh my god, straight men are so difficult to talk to. He goes, go ahead, honey, give me nothing.
Oh my god.
So there was okay, anyway, yeah, don't show. But there was this guy who texted, and his conversation was just, all he said was hello.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, honey, give me nothing.
Yeah.
So, what energy you give is what you'll get.
Tama,
so
tama.
he said hello, edi hello.
Hi.
Oh, yun na.
And then he didn't reply na.
Yun na. And I'm like,
So weird.
this is so weird.
You know what? I think also probably, I'm guessing, guys are having a difficult time, I don't know, connecting and being interesting. Or maybe they're
Maybe.
intimidated.
Or maybe they're also just bored.
Yeah.
It could also be that,
Naghahanap
Either-
lang ng text mate.
Yeah, text mate. Not me. No, sir, not I.
Pass ka
Pass,
muna.
pass
ka
na.
muna.
So, kung gusto nyo ng text mate,
Yeah.
wag ako.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you actually are very good at letting people down gently.
I'm really good at that.
Yeah, because you don't want to make enemies. Except for that guy who was really pissed at you.
He was so mad, guys. I went on a date that ended. I'll actually tell the whole story on like a separate episode, but like, I went on a date recently that ended in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was so awkward, but also I didn't want to escalate it
Yeah.
because
It's
I
good.
was in a situation where I knew I didn't have the upper hand in terms of like the location and everything. And for my safety, I just didn't want for it to get worse. And with all the Netflix documentaries and
Oh my god, of all
yeah, I was running in my head. I'm like,
Ted Bundy.
yeah, I was like, get me out of here. So I just tried to de-escalate and then go home safely. But yeah, it ended in a fight. But I am really good at letting people down nicely. Not because I don't want enemies. It's because I believe in good dating karma. And as much as I can, I'm not good at it and I don't always succeed. But as much as I can, because baka mamaya may mag-comment, hindi ka naman ganun sa akin.
Good
When we
dating
date-
karma.
Good dating karma.
Guys, comment if you've gone on a date with Nicole and she was like a biatch.
Yeah, let me know. Actually, just slide na lang into my DMs. You weren't like that with me. Actually, it's true. I have had moments where I wasn't the greatest person to date. But I've learned. Sana naman. Sana may character development ng konti.
Okay, tama,
Anyway,
tama.
so I believe in good dating Are you okay? What's
Yeah.
okay?
Just switching around.
Okay. I believe in good
Ako,
dating
wedgie.
karma. So, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. So, I want, if the guy is gonna be malabo, being ghosted is not nice. So, I don't want him to ghost me. So, I don't want to ghost someone. I have, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. So, now I just say, look, I think we're better off as friends and, let's hang out. And I'll introduce you to my girlfriends. Like,
Yeah.
I think you're a better match for my other friend. Like,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So, yeah, I try, but it takes practice. You don't get it overnight. But yeah, you and Ava always tell me that, and you said this on the episode, for me to go out.
Yeah. Was this Nicole? Oh my god, it's so hard to meet someone. Bye guys, 8 p.m. na. I'm gonna go to bed. Getting a massage. We're like, huh?
Yeah, so that's why I don't, I'm not expecting na
Yeah.
I'm not out here trying to meet someone because also, realistically, I know I'm like, okay, I'm also not gonna go out, so why pa try?
Yeah,
na.
totoo. No, but I like your approach to it because you're like, I'm just gonna work on myself.
Yeah.
And if it comes along, it comes along.
Yeah.
It's also so annoying when you're single in the Philippines specifically. Everyone's like on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Every time I leave my house, which is rare,
Yeah.
every time I leave my house, everyone's like, you're still single? You're
Yeah.
not dating anyone?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys, chill. There's more to me and my personality than being single.
Tama. And also, but I will tell you, another stage was when you get with someone and you're like, then they ask you when you're getting married, and then when you're married, when you're gonna have a baby. So it never really ends. It's just
Yeah.
a cycle of
It's
constantly.
nonstop.
Yeah, actually, people should find other questions to ask other than that.
Okay,
Like,
okay, you know what? Because I'm guilty of this, and I hate it when people do it to me, so I don't want to do it to anyone else.
Yeah.
What are good questions to ask rather than, who are you dating now? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
dating
yeah.
anyone?
I think small talk questions that are open-ended that allow people to answer in different ways are good. Like, for example, hey, what are your plans this weekend? Or,
Oh, I like
you know,
that.
what did you do last month? Or I've been recently asking people like, what are you doing this summer? What are your next travel plans? One, because I'm always interested to understand where people are going or spending most of their time, and two, I like learning if, like, say one of my friends is going to Canada to go visit like a lake there because they're gonna go hiking. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that place.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I like to ask.
I think it's easy for you because you're genuinely a curious person.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're really good at conversation too, but I think a lot of people, like, first of all, that guy who texted me hello, here, let's give some options. Okay? If
He
you
probably
are-
put hi, tas delete.
Na, hindi.
Hello na lang.
Hello. Mas okay to.
Wala man lang your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like, hey, I'm just
Baka
eating ice
kinopy-paste.
cream.
Sinenya
I
sa
thought of
5.
you, or something like that.
Baka
Ano ba
sinenya
yun?
sa 10.
Yeah.
Sino sasagot dito sa hello?
Oh my God, uso pa ba yun?
I
Okay.
don't know. Okay, so one could be, what are your travel plans? What are your plans this weekend? What did you do last month? Kind of like curious as to what they have going on.
Tama.
Along the lines of,
Yeah.
you know, what their interests are, and then go from there.
Or you can also be updated with like current events and then bring that up. Doesn't have
Also
to be
get their
super
opinion.
heavy. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what do you think about this? Or what do you
Yeah.
think about that mayor of Bamban?
Yeah, ang
It was
heavy
like-
naman kung mga climate change.
Yeah.
No, don't go political.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not in the first meeting.
Yeah, it can just be like, oh my gosh, I saw this, I don't know, episode of whatever.
Yeah.
Or this thing on
A new
TikTok.
movie, whatever is like trending in terms of pop culture, I think is an easy conversation starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's hard is
What?
when you're in the elevator and you like have a few seconds to talk to your neighbors. You're like, so hi.
What do you do in that case?
I don't know. I just keep quiet. I'm like, hi.
You really?
No, it depends. If it's a neighbor that I know or I'm comfortable with, or people that I'm never gonna see again, I'm like, I don't make eye contact.
You know what's awkward is I once before dated someone in a building that I lived in.
Oh my God.
And that elevator conversation
It's
are the hardest.
painful. Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh,
Because
do I
you're
still
like-
have my panty there in your dressing
That's
room?
not naman me. Hindi kami umabot doon. Baka ikaw.
Can
No.
you give me back my bralette? Yung green.
Oh, yung iPhone charger ko nasa condo. But yeah, those are awkward. I think on elevator conversations. Kapag ganun, mga weather na lang. Weather na lang yung topic.
Yeah, the weather's great, no? It's so humid.
Yeah, ganon. Or
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, are you off to the grocery? Okay, see you. Bye.
Yeah,
Yun na yun eh. Mga 2 minutes lang yun eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Depending kung gaano kataas yung floor or kung mabagal yung elevator.
Yeah, like, I hate that.
Okay, wait lang. I also wanted to ask you because in our group, you're always the one, you're the planner. You're a big planner. You like
Yeah.
to like pull things together.
I like
Do
to
you-
gather people.
Yeah. Do you ever get annoyed? Because I try it sometimes and it bothers me when people are like, when we have stragglers or people are late or people
Yeah.
don't read the text. Like,
Yeah.
does it ever stress you out that when you plan?
No,
being the
because
planner?
I don't have any expectations of our friends. Like, I just have the
Kasi
lowest
natuto-
expectations of
natuto
them.
ka na.
So I know there's people are gonna be late. People are gonna forget things. People are gonna. It's like just constant reminders and constant people complaining and
Yeah.
bitching. Itago natin sa pangalan Raymond Gutierrez.
Yeah.
But no, I think one of the things that I love is gathering people together.
Akala mo,
to
aga
have-
mo.
Oo.
Akala mo, aga mo,
I was
lagi.
30 minutes late.
Okay.
But I told you ahead.
Okay.
Okay. No, one of the things I like to do is gather groups of friends together and just like have nice lunches or dinners or spend like an afternoon together.
Yeah. So when we were in high school, and actually till now, Belle was
My God, ang
always
tagal
the
na nun.
first one. Oh, grabe ka naman.
That was like, what?
Last year.
20 years ago.
Wag, ikaw. Bala
No,
ka.
15
Anyway,
years ago.
when we were in high school, Belle, and even college, Belle would always have these kamayan dinners.
Yes, yeah.
What are they called again?
Kamayan dinners, boodle fight.
Boodle fight. She would always have boodle fights in her house. And no one ever planned anything. Is it because it was only your house that had the space to accommodate people? But like,
Yeah.
no one else was like, come hang out at my house. It was always your house.
Yeah.
And
My
always,
house was just like the center for all of our group hangs.
Yeah. But
And
you're
I think
still like that to this day.
I like to be. My sisters, well, I don't have that right now here in Manila, but
Yeah.
in Hong Kong, I think just I loved having people over. My mom was also like that. My sisters were all kind of welcoming to our friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is. But
A
now
lot of memories that happened there.
I know, exactly. Guys, actually one time, so I didn't start showering with like friends until I started living in Belle's house. All of a sudden we're all showering together and I'm like, is this normal?
Yeah, like you just enter and everyone's like having massage and everyone's like, okay, naka-panty or whatever.
So you guys are so comfortable about being naked and being naked around other people. But then after a while, all our lives took us in different directions. I lived abroad and then I came back here.
Okay.
And I've been alone for a big chunk of my life. So
Yeah.
I've never really been naked around other people. So we were roommates recently. We were roommates again in Thailand. And I'm showering and we're talking. All of a sudden, there's the shower door, it's opaque, so it's not see-through. The shower door busts open and Belle just walks into the shower.
Did I do that?
Yeah. And walang katok, there's nothing. You just straight up walked into that shower with me. And alam mo yung may soap pa yung mata mo, yung may panic kasi you don't know if it's a janitor. Wala ka makita eh. Bigla na bumukas yung door. So may startle factor. And then you
It was
just
me.
walk in and then you start showering. So I'm like, minadali ko na, and then I walked out. And then you open the door and you're like, are you afraid to see me naked or something? Like she scolded me.
Yeah.
She's like,
You
"Why
were
can't
like
I see
grossed
you?"
out. You were like, oh my god.
I walked out and then I'm drying off then. She goes, why are you afraid for me to see me naked? And then I felt pressured at the time. I just faced her and I'm like, yeah.
She's just
I'm
like,
like, is this what you want?
she's like, here's my body.
I'm like, why are you so obsessed to see
Flashing
me
me.
naked?
No, so I'm just very comfortable like being naked around friends and like I obviously growing up with George and Martine and Jess, we all just showered together.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah.
But it's just not the norm that
I
I'm
guess.
used to.
Yeah.
Which is weird because being half Swedish, everyone's naked all the time.
Yeah.
And I actually remember there was a funny story. I was living in, staying in, like, what is it called? Like a cabin
Yeah.
of my dad's friend's summer house.
Yeah.
We were staying there for a short time during the summer in Sweden a few years back. And I was just minding my own business. I think I was still in college. I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I walk out and my dad's here. And my dad's like, he's not in his 20s. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's
And
at
he's
least 50 or something.
And he's just thinking.
And no, he's with his homies. They're all naked.
And you're like, I'm
All
good.
these like 50, 60-year-old
Yeah.
guys just all hanging
It's a
out with a
thing.
beer. And it's not like, they're not modest. Like, nakaganyan. They're
Yeah.
like, nakabukaka. Like,
Yeah.
with their beer, cheersing. And I walk out and I'm like, I just froze and turned back.
That is
out.
traumatic.
Yeah.
That I mean, like I don't think. Yeah, no, that's a wrap.
But
Women
to them
for me
it's
is
normal.
Okay. Yeah,
And culturally, there's not a big issue about being naked
yeah.
in half of my culture, but I didn't grow up in that culture.
Yeah.
So it's a shock to me. They all just laugh at me when they see me react that way.
But I think it's different when it's men and women. I don't know. Like I wouldn't feel as comfortable in front of men to be naked.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's a funny story also. My mom was just dating my dad at the time. So
Yeah.
they were maybe in their 20s, 30s, like that. And my dad took her home to Sweden to meet his barkada, his friends.
Yeah.
And it was like a summer party, and my mom walks up, or I think my mom was pregnant with me at the I can't remember the facts, but my mom walks out of the car, and this guy comes out of the house running towards them, fully naked. Like, schlong hanging.
No.
Yes, fully naked,
No.
running towards them to meet them. Like, and so cheerful. Talagang,
Yeah.
hey, guys!
Yeah.
Hey! And my mom starts freaking out.
Yeah.
So my dad screams to them in Swedish, or to him,
Yeah.
saying, hey, she's from Asia, she's not used to this
Like
naked thing.
being. Yeah.
Put something on. He goes, oh, okay. He runs back in the house. He
Puts
comes
a
out.
hat.
No, with a sock. One sock on this thing.
No.
And then it just became funny.
Yeah,
it became
yeah.
like a comedy na.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Literal, put something on.
He put something on, he put on a sock.
Yeah.
And then it just broke the ice and it
Yeah.
became funny.
No, but that's traumatic. Like a guy running out naked, you're like, whoa. You know, I've been to nudist beaches in France and it's always a lot of men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it just, you know what it is? I think you have to get used to it if that is an environment that you're in. Because, like, when I was in San Francisco, there's people naked all the time.
Okay.
And there's always guys who are, like, biking naked on the street. Like, it's known, because there was a hippie culture in San Francisco back then. So, there's a lot of, like, naked people around for big events and stuff. So you get used to seeing it, but when you don't see it for a while, it's like a shock to your system.
No, I don't know if I'm okay with that, but yeah. I'm a nudist, but not okay with nude people, except for me in my house.
Yeah. No, it's usually you with, like, people you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this?
Nowhere. We're just, like, chit-chatting.
Yeah, we're just chit-chatting.
Okay, Nicole, I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
What is your type? Yun na lang.
You know, no, you know my type, but also I don't think...
Mestizo, ganon?
No. Okay,
Hot?
you know what? Let's clarify this. My type is good with conversation.
Okay.
I really like when a guy can volley the conversation back with me. Like, I don't want to have to be the one getting everything out of you. Because in my mind, if we're gonna date, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with this person, right? And if you're gonna grow old with someone,
Yeah.
ano yan, 60 years, di kayo mag-uusap?
Okay.
Diba?
You want to have somebody that can ride along with you.
Yeah. And obviously,
What if pangit?
Hello, marami na ako na date na pangit.
So good
You
conversation, that's it.
No naman. Like, obviously, loyal, trustworthy, mabait, respectful. There's so many things.
What are
But
your
in terms of
big
looks,
no-nos or red flags?
there's so many.
Like
I
ugali.
really don't like mayabang.
Okay.
It's such a turn off to me.
Yeah.
There were some guys where I'm like, ay, cute, like there's potential.
Yeah.
And then nagyabang, and I'm like, it's so cringe
Yeah.
to me. What would your red flag be?
Yeah, I guess one of those.
Or like, I also went on a date with a guy who's like super name droppy,
Yeah. Ugh.
super cringe.
Super cringe. That's your ick.
Yeah,
Your dating ick.
That's an ick. It's not a red flag, but it's an ick. There's so many. Oh my god, we could have a full episode on just.
But I do
red flags.
like what's this called?
Oh, I know my type. I know na my
Okay,
type.
go.
I'm not saying it's required, but this is something. This is like that gets my kilite every time. Funny guys,
Okay, yeah.
right?
But it's hard because you're so funny already. So it's hard to top you.
True.
No, totoo.
Yeah, way to
Parang-
be my friend.
The only funnier guy, it's gay na yon. Diba?
No, I really.
Like,
I'm not saying I will only date. No, hello. I dated a guy for a really long time who wasn't funny. Like, I was the funny one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind because I was like, okay, I can be the funny one because
I like it because Nicole laughs at her own jokes.
I know. So
Yeah.
it's okay. I really can. I can keep up this. For the both of us.
Yeah.
I can be funny for the both of us. But if a guy can be funny,
And make you laugh.
yes,
Then you
that
feel,
really gets me like
yeah, you're
kilig.
like, oh,
Yeah. Which
Like-
is why I've dated guys
like
who aren't conventionally cute.
impersonations, ganon.
Why did you say that? Because
No, I'm asking.
because you're talking about someone.
No, I'm asking, like, a guy who can do, like, a Manny Pacquiao impersonation. Is that funny to you?
Impersonations for me are funny, but they have a shelf life.
Okay.
It gets old after a
okay.
while. If that's because I don't like if they have a shtick.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I
Yeah.
just think funny naturally with a sense of humor
Yeah.
is
So,
what
comedian.
yeah, all of them have red flags. How do you do that?
Okay, I
Actually,
get it.
I tried. Oh my
Sense
God.
of humor na lang. Yun na lang.
Yes, sense of humor.
Let's use that.
Yeah.
Kasi, you know.
But-
it doesn't have to naturally, like, tell jokes, but it can, like, appear in other ways. Let's say you, I don't know, mention I don't like coffee or whatever, and he sends you
Ye-
a lot of coffee or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like
Like
that,
that's
with
a sense of humor.
Yes, yeah.
That's like thoughtful but kind of funny and not.
Exactly. Like, I'm not trying to go on a date with a guy and making him do stand up
Yeah.
on the date.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not saying entertain me. I'm just saying, like, it's funny when things happen and we can laugh about it together. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
To end this, how I want to ask, how are you enjoying the podcast space?
I like that. See,
Yeah.
those are good, guys. Conversation starters.
Yes.
Diba? Being genuinely interested in the other person's interests. I'm really enjoying it. I think aside from being able to have candid conversations with my friends and being able to share that with people who will be able to relate to it online, I think it's so fun to have an outlet where I also get to be much more of myself.
Yeah, and personal.
Yeah, I think it's in my line of work, I tend to talk a lot for clients and for brands, and there's always usually talk points and things that you have to act a certain way for a certain brand, or you need to there are different branding like ideals for any situation. But I think with the podcast, it's nice because I'm able to kind of peel a layer back and also share fun stories, which is something I love. You know this about me, right? And I think that's why I also became a host, is because I love hearing people's stories, and
Talking.
now I love talking.
I love talking.
Talking to myself, talking to people, just talking.
Talking in general.
Yeah. I love it. And so now I'm getting DMs of people sharing their life stories.
Yeah.
And like today I read 3, and they're just paragraphs long of just like where they're at in their lives and advice that they're looking for. So I really like it. It's really, I think it challenges me to push my skill level and like work on that, but also I like being able to connect with more people.
Yeah.
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 How do you like it?
I like it. It's good. I mean, I wouldn't say tough, but it's a very different space to be in because you don't have to filter anything. You can just say it how it is, and it's very raw.
Yeah.
So you don't have to edit too much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too, except for the things we bleeped out, but that's because for the safety and the ego of the people involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings here. Guys, if you want to reach out or follow Belle, she has really funny stories on Insta stories. Isabelle Daza,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or is there a D there?
Isabelle Daza.
Isabelle Daza. And then the Sexy Time podcast on Spotify. What else? Where else can people find you?
That's it.
Okay. No
Yeah.
shows in
None
in
right
the works
now.
right
No.
now?
No.
Okay, but she's actually an artista also. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this already. But she has some really funny roles. Just search her shows online and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for
So-
the plug.
Yeah, so we're gonna grab dinner now and
And eat. Have you eaten
And
this
eat.
place?
no, because it's also mahal, which is another thing.
It's so hard to book there. Grabe.
Yeah.
I've been booking. It's like they're like, we're fully booked for June. We're fully booked for July. I'm like,
Yeah.
grabe kayo. So we're gonna eat not in the main. We're gonna eat in the upstairs, which is a little less expensive, but also just still as good.
Which is
More
another
casual, more
another
casual.
one. I'm like, who's paying the bill on this?
Yeah. No. It's ours. It's
Okay,
on
Belle,
us.
it's on you.
It's on
Alright.
us. It's on us. Hold
Okay,
on, my
guys.
sister's calling.
See you in the
Aba.
next one. Bye.